Surprising history and truth behind placebo healing. What if I told you that sugar pills, fake surgeries, and saline injections have been healing people for centuries? That your mind might be more powerful than the medicine in your hand? Welcome to the fascinating world of placebo healing, a phenomenon that has baffled doctors, challenged scientific norms, and given us insight into the untapped potential of the human brain. In this video, we're diving deep into the surprising history, scientific truth, and mysteries behind one of the most puzzling aspects of modern and ancient medicine. Stick around, because by the end, you'll never look at healing the same way again. Part 1. What is a placebo? A placebo is a treatment with no therapeutic effect, like a sugar pill or a saline injection, that's used in clinical trials or sometimes in real-world settings. But here's the twist. People still get better. They report pain relief, improved symptoms, even recovery, all from something that isn't supposed to do anything. That effect? That's the placebo effect, and it's one of the strangest phenomena in medicine. Part 2. The ancient roots of placebo healing. The placebo effect is not new. In fact, ancient civilizations were tapping into it long before modern science. In ancient Egypt, priests performed elaborate rituals to heal the sick, rituals that had no medical basis, but inspired faith, hope, and belief. The Greeks believed in Asclepius, the god of medicine. His temples were filled with serpents, music, dreams, all designed to trigger the mind's healing response. Was it divine, or was it the earliest example of placebo medicine in action? Part 3. Modern science and the placebo revolution. Fast forward to the 20th century. Researchers began using placebos in controlled trials, not to heal, but to measure the effectiveness of real drugs. But something strange happened. Patients in the placebo group started getting better, sometimes just as much as those on real medication. In some pain studies, up to 60% of patients reported relief after taking nothing but sugar pills. Brain scans showed that their brains actually released endorphins, natural painkillers. The body was responding as if it had received medicine, but it hadn't. It was the expectation of healing that triggered the real physical response. Part 4. How the placebo effect actually works. So how does this work? Scientists now believe the placebo effect is a neurobiological phenomenon. When you believe you're being treated, your brain releases chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins. That can reduce pain, improve mood, even boost your immune system. Your body responds to belief the way it would to a drug. It's like hacking your brain into healing mode. But there's more. Red pills work better as stimulants, while blue pills make better sleeping aids. Expensive fake treatments work better than cheap ones. Even the words that doctors use can enhance or reduce the effect. All of it can enhance the placebo effect. It's not just the pill, it's the entire experience. Part 5. Placebo versus real medicine. Now let's be clear, placebos can't cure cancer or kill bacteria. They don't replace real medicine, but they can amplify its effect, or in some cases, explain why people get better even when a treatment shouldn't work. That's why clinical trials still use double-blind, placebo-controlled methods, to make sure it's the drug working, not just the power of belief. But researchers are now asking, can we harness the placebo effect intentionally to help people heal? Part 6. Open-label placebos. A new frontier. Here's where it gets even a stranger. In recent studies, doctors gave patients placebos, but told them exactly what they were. No deception, no trickery, and people still improved. These are called open-label placebos, and they might change how we think about healing entirely. If belief is the real medicine, maybe we don't need the illusion, just the intention. So what's the truth behind placebo healing? It's not magic. It's not trickery. It's the extraordinary, measurable power of the human mind and body to respond to belief, hope, and expectation. Placebos reveal something deeper, not just about medicine, but about ourselves. That sometimes the story we believe can shape the reality we experience. And in a world full of pills, scans, and science, maybe that's the most powerful medicine of all. If this blew your mind, hit that like button Subscribe for more deep dives and tell us in the comments. Have you ever experienced the placebo effect yourself? Thanks for watching, and remember, healing might begin with belief.